So Rich, Sheffield on Sunday, how excited are you at the prospect of facing another team towards the top end of the table?
It's a good test, it's a good challenge this one. It'll probably be a reflection of where we're at this year. We've struggled with the teams above us in the league. We've got an opportunity this week to put that right. What I will say is Sheffield are a good club, a really good community club, and they've got a vibrant coaching department there, and I'm sure they'll be fired up their players for this game. There's a couple of connections there within the two squads, so yeah, it'll be an interesting, really good game.
How important is it? I know you just touched on it briefly there, to start winning the games against the teams around you. Is it something maybe in the players' mind they need to get correct, or is it just maybe a bit of being a bit clever on the field?
We've been in a position for most of our fixtures this year to win the games. But that's not good enough. We need to actually turn them performances into results. This week is an important one. The result won't make or break our season, but it will give us a good chance. I think we don't always want to be fighting to get into the four. We want to be in there and settled and take some pressure off ourselves. That said, Sheffield are already in there and already playing well, and I know they've had a couple of tough ties over the last couple of weeks. But the table doesn't lie; they're there for a reason, and they're one of the top teams in our competition.
We've had a couple of tough ties in the last week as well. Wakefield last Friday. What kind of benefit can you take out of that game playing against a Super League opposition? Held them for probably about an hour in the game, and it was quite an even game.
It was, and we did. We were pleased with 60 minutes, and then we sort of our defence sort of went awry and a bit astray, and it wasn't of where we and how we've defended this season. But we've got Tim Smith and Lauatiti and some good players running plays at you. We haven't faced that this year, and Wakefield were desperate for that win and to progress in the cup. Unfortunately, it wasn't our day, but we did put a lot of effort in, and there were some really pleasing performances within that. I didn't think the scoreline did reflect the game, but again, it's one that got away from us.
In terms of team news, a bit of news from the club today was Ricky Sharif going back to Keith. We'll just comment on that if you can for us.
Ricky has been great. It's all amicable, and pleased that Ricky wanted to do pre-season and see if he could still train and play, and he's enjoyed his time at Keighley, and he did really well for us over the last couple of weeks. He's been good for us, but he thinks that Keighley's where he needs to be at. He's got some family there. I think rugby's not a priority as much as a priority for Ricky. Now he's moving into different businesses and new ventures, and quite rightly so. He's had a great career, and we wish him all the best over at Keighley. And
a new signing for us, one out, one in, Danie Craven from Widnes. What can the fans expect from him?
He's an exciting player. He's got some. He's been recommended to us. He wanted to come. There was other clubs interested in taking Danie on loan, so he's chose to come to Halifax. That's great. He's done a session this week. Looked really sharp. He'll be in again tonight, and hopefully he'll be in and around the squad for this weekend's fixture against Sheffield. He's a good player. He'll offer us some pace. I think his passing and kicking game will complement our existing halfbacks.
And before the last couple of games, we've been struggling a little bit with injuries. What can you tell us? Any updates, perhaps on Steve Tyrer?
He's coming on, Steve. He's coming on. He has his leg out of the brace every now and again, whether he should do or he shouldn't. But the medical department are onto him, and he's doing his rehab. He did a hand-eye session with us, so he's continuing to do things that he can do on the bike and doing his rehab. 3 to 4 weeks. We're hoping, fingers crossed, all being well. But as long as he looks after himself and keeps himself as fit as he possibly can do, I think his transition back into the team will be a good one and an easier one for him.
Just finally, last Friday at Wakefield, the support was almost split at 50-50 with a large number of away fans making the trip. How important can they be on Sunday in what is going to be a massive game for the club?
It was great. At I thought the majority of the fans there were Halifax fans who were singing that loud, and quite rightly so. We've been crying out for a little bit more support and vocal, and I thought they really got behind the team and stayed towards the end and clapped every one of our players off, which was testament to our great support. We're looking for the same this week, and hopefully they can support us throughout the 80 minutes, and we can repay that with an 80-minute performance, which I think is probably what we due and what we deserve. We'll be working hard to put that in and make sure we give the fans something to cheer about.